All right, for my final project for MASS110, my media is Alka-Seltzer Soft Chews for heartburn. The platform we're looking at here is adults with stomach issues or heartburn. We'll see it in the media, we'll see it in print, on TV commercials, billboards, those kind of things. The product is actually, I have them here. There are 3 different colors. There is, I don't know if you can see, these are the gummies that come inside the container. You can see there's yellow, pink, and red and orange. They look kind of like candy with a hard outer shell. This is the container. You can see it's a clear container that has a greenish label on the front. And then in the white center is the name of the product, Alka-Seltzer. And then down here you can see that it's heartburn relief chewies. But then here in the red you can see that it says extra strength. The other thing I want to point out is it shows us fruit over here, strawberry, orange, I believe lemon. There is no fruit in this product. It's fruit flavored, but there's no fruit in this product. This product is actually, it's an over-the-counter medication for those people that have issues with their stomach, with antacid, gastric reflux, those kind of things, but it still is strictly an over-the-counter medication. They also put these out like this so that people who don't care for the chalky taste of the original heartburn medication, Tums, Rolaids, even Alka-Seltzer, well, Alka-Seltzer has the effervescent tablets that you could take. People don't like the flavor of those, so they made these so that they're wonderful tasting and do the same thing. The ownership of this particular company has a rather interesting background. It's the Bayer company that puts this out. You can see, if you look closely, you'll see a little Bayer label on here. But the interesting part about that is that they've been around for a very long time. They were established in Germany, and now their headquarters in Leverkusen, and it was originally started by Friedrich Bayer. Actually, Mr. Bayer and this particular product was invented in Elkhart, Indiana. But as of now, this company is located over in Germany, and its current CEO is Werner Baumann. And just as a side note, this particular company, Bayer, they originally are the ones that trademarked the cough suppressant with heroin in it. And it was being advertised as being non-addictive. So I thought that was kind of an interesting little side point. Bayer is actually owned by a Capital Group companies, and there are about 150 companies within this company. Bayer it was reorganized into a holding company, and their group's core businesses were transformed into limited companies, each controlled by Bayer. In 2016, the company began a second restructuring with the aim of allowing the transition to life sciences based on a company by divesting its chemicals division in 2004 with the aim of offloading materials division by 2016. Ultimately, they have diversified themselves into 4 different types of core companies. They have the pharmaceuticals section, the consumer health section, which is what this comes under. They have the core science, and then the animal health section. So they do a lot of diversified they have a lot of diversified inventing of different products. Some of the over-the-counter products that the consumer health division has is Dr. Scholl's, all of their products, the Aleve line, the one-a-day vitamin line. They have just a plain aspirin, Bayer aspirin line. They actually are trading right now on the stock market. They actually trade in the European stock market, and they're trading it today, as of today, at 92.5 euros, which is actually $108.51 in American money. And then the company's net worth is really rather phenomenal. Their net worth is it's over 35 billion euros, which is actually $41.7 billion. So they are a large company. They're like the 10th largest company in the manufacturing of over-the-counter medications, as well as life sciences as well. So the product, this Alka-Seltzer, like I said, it was originally created by a chemist in Elkhart, Indiana, back in the 30s, and then it's progressed up to this. The Bayer Corporation employs 99,820 people, and that's worldwide. Only 11% of that, however, is with the consumer health division of the company. When you're looking at how much people are getting paid, you can look at a chemist's salary. They start out at approximately $98,000 and they run up to about $106,000. Engineers only make $95,000. The physician who oversees the manufacturing, they make up to $435,000 a year. However, then we look at an office administrator, they make $16 to $22 an hour. So obviously, it pays to get an education. This product is rather inexpensive to make. All told, from what I can see, the company is rather secretive about the formulation and about how this product is made. I'm assuming that's because it is a medication. But from what I can find, each one of these little gummies costs about 3 cents or less to make. When you look at the overall cost of them, or the sales price of them, they sell for approximately 10 cents a tab. So you're looking at a over three time markup on this medication. This company, and all companies, are regulated when it comes to medications by the FDA here in the United States, the Federal Food and Drug Administration. But Europe has their own. They have the European Medicine Agency in Europe. And then Germany has its own specific, and that is the Federal Institute of Drugs and Medicinal Devices. So these are fairly well regulated, even though it doesn't really have to be. There's a lot of products out there that are not regulated by the FDA, but this is one that is. So we talked about already that the profit margin on this is really quite high. The markup is over 3 times what it costs to make. So obviously they are making a good deal of money, and you can tell that from the amount of what the corporation is worth. The job market on this product, who creates this product? Well, we already looked at the chemists who make a good living. The engineers, which depending on where you live, $95,000 is a pretty decent living. But they do, one of this company's perks is that they have a very good vocational education program. They are willing to take the time and put the investment in the people so that people can move their way up. So basically, overall, when we're looking at the occupations for this particular company, if you have an education, you're going to do well. If you're going to be an office assistant, you might have a little trouble living on what you're making, especially in Europe. This particular product, what's the role of it? The role is to help people that have occasional indigestion, have occasional heartburn. I think it meets that goal. However, I think it causes a little bit of false security for people. There are people who tend to use it routinely, daily, and that's not healthy. This stuff is supposed to be on occasion, and like every other medication, if it's not used appropriately, you could be masking a problem. You could be, there could be a lot of issues. So it's really, I think it does work, but I think it doesn't do the public justice, because most people just won't go to the doctor. They'll just take these and be done with it. And that's not appropriate. The Bayer Company has been around for a long time, well over 100 years. And for in my generation, we used to get the St. Joseph Bayer aspirin, the children's aspirin. That was the most delicious thing you'd ever have. Your mom had to put it up on top of the refrigerator so you couldn't get to it. But that was a trusted name. Bayer has been a trusted name for years and years. Even those of us who have used Alka-Seltzer in the past, and are a little bit older, we remember Speedy, the plop plop fizz fizz guy, that made us feel comfortable. We knew that if we took Alka-Seltzer, Speedy would come and take away our problems. So I think that it supports the values that we have. It gives us, we get product endorsement from, we feel that it's the appropriate product for the appropriate time. And again, we have things like the St. Joseph Bayer aspirin that's going to make us feel better. We have Speedy, who is, you know, an icon that they actually brought back. Now, this product is relatively safe if used as recommended, but the company, I found, was very secretive about how it was produced. And I mean, it does have some pretty basic stuff in it. It has citric acid, it has aspirin, and it also has sodium bicarb. Those are the basic ingredients in this. Now, none of those could be a problem, but because this company is so secretive about their formula and about how things are done, it kind of made me a little suspect. But that is it for the Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews Extra Strength.